everybody, welcome to the Murrumbateman Field Days. My name is Michelle O'Neill and this is Squiggles, and we come from up near the Durango region, south of Canberra, and we have a little business called Cherry Tree Equine, and Cherry Tree Equine is all about all of you having the best relationship you can with your horse and having the best horse that you can, and about having the most fun that you possibly can with your horse. And this demonstration that I'm going to do now is about finding your perfect equine partner. Now everybody, please note I said equine partner. Sorry, can't help with the Tinder deal today. Okay, so what I want to talk to you about is if you're going to look at a horse or you're looking for a horse, what you actually should be looking for, and what if you go and test ride a horse somewhere, what some of the things that Spence, what are you doing? So this is just a bit about what I think you should look for when you go to buy a horse. What should you look for? What should you be aware of? And some of the pitfalls that people get into when buying horses. Now, this old fella, he's actually one of my competition horses, and you can see, he wants to kind of move around. This is not his deal. This is not the sort of horse that you want to go out and buy if you're a beginner rider just getting started. Okay, what you want to do is you want to make sure that the horse that you are going to look at and the horse that you buy suits what you want to do. If you want to go out and barrel race with the best in the country, then this is the horse for you. Okay, but if you want to go out trail riding on weekends and ride 2 days a week, and if you just want to do adult riding club or pony club or anything like that, you've got to make sure the horses you're looking at are relevant for what you want. And I was talking to someone this morning and they were talking about a horse that somebody bought, and they bought a horse that was a paint. And the reason why they bought a horse that was a paint was because they saw a pretty colour and they bought the colour. They didn't buy the horse that suited them. And that's one of the things that I see a lot. I'll see people turn up to clinics and they will have a horse that looks real pretty but is completely inappropriate for them. And we used to have a few buckskin horses in our string of horses, and I'd turn to events, come to something like this, bring one of the buckskins, and you could go down there where people are patting the horses, and everybody would be standing around that buckskin horse's yard. Every time they'd be around the buckskin horse's yard. The buckskin horse would be getting pat after pat after pat. And of all the horses that I would have with me, the buckskin horse was generally the one that I liked less, and was the one that was the least suitable for most people. So if you go to look at a horse, okay, there's a few things that I like to advise people to do. And the first thing I like to advise people to do is to be early. You go to look at a horse, make sure you are early, because it gives you that element of surprise where you can actually go and see what the horse is like when the people aren't ready. Now, and there's another reason for that. And we used to sell a lot of horses and retrain them and get them going and then sell them. And nothing used to annoy me more than when people were late. So if people said they'd turn up at 10 o'clock, I can't tell you how many times people didn't turn up till 11 or 12 o'clock. And what that would do is it wouldn't, I'd ruin my day, but it also then put that person in a position where I was not interested in negotiating on price. Okay, if you're going to be late, if you are going to disrespect my time and be late, don't expect me to give you a discount. Okay, so big tip, be early. Okay, and bring a saddle. Okay, make sure when you turn up you've got all the gear that you want to ride that horse in. The seller may not let you ride in it. Okay, but look at me. This is a 13.5-inch saddle. Okay, now if you turned up at my place and you've never ridden in a Western saddle, or he really thinks he should be friends with those heavy horses up there. Okay, I hate to tell him his mates are back down over there. if you've never ridden in a saddle like this, how are you going to get a good feel for the horse? Okay, these saddles are custom made for me by Mal Fishenden in Tamworth. They are made exactly to my specifications. You may think it is the most uncomfortable saddle you've ever sat in your life, and you know what? That's fine, but bring your gear. And the other reason why you should bring your gear is this horse. He's quite broad, and he takes quite a broad saddle. So he actually, this saddle is custom made for him. You may turn up with your saddle. Say I was selling him, and I'm not. Okay, he's not for sale at any price. But you may turn up, and you might have a really narrow saddle. Okay, so suddenly when you turn up, straight away you know that you are going to have to buy a new saddle. Now remember that the cheapest part about a horse is buying the horse. Okay, so you got to think about the fact that this is a $4,500 saddle. So if you go and ride the horse and you're like, I want a saddle like that, well, there's another $4,500. Well, there's a start. There we go. Sorry guys, we are a few technical issues today. So yeah, okay, bring the gear that you want to bring. You guys see I'm letting this horse walk, okay, so of course, the reason why I'm letting him walk is, and I stand here and drop the reins and let him relax. Okay, if he wants to stand, I'm going to let him stand while I talk to all of you. But you can see he's a little like, oh, there's stuff going on. So I let him move, okay? Now, this is important for you to be aware of when you go to look at a horse. Because if you go and look at a horse and it's green and it's fresh, or, it's an unexperienced horse, and you sit there and you grab hold of its face like this, okay, because you're a bit scared, you're actually going to set yourself up to not go well in the ride of the horse, okay? So what you want to do is make sure that you take your best horsemanship game with you. So if he doesn't want to stand still, move. But here's my chance to actually work on some important things that I want to know. Now, if I go to ride a horse for a client or look at a horse for a client, the first thing I want to know is, can this horse do a one-rein stop? Now, if you want to know about all of these exercises I'm talking about, you can check out we have a YouTube channel where all of these exercises are, but we're also giving away this weekend a free subscription to our new Cherry Tree Virtual, which is where we're going to do a lot more professional videos and help you with all of your horse problems. So if you're not sure about what I'm talking about, feel free to join the competition. You might win a free subscription. But a one-rein stop. A one-rein stop, if you watched my groundwork demo earlier, I was talking about, a one-rein stop is where a horse gives to the bridle and then disengages his hindquarters like that. So, this thing, it does thousands of me in a year, and it just still days to die, okay? So, a one-rein stop. We bend our horse, get him to give his nose, and then we push his hindquarter away. Now, you guys can see his right hind leg is tipping up underneath him, not very well. Okay, I'll walk him out of that. So, I'll bend him, tip away, there. Now, what a one-rein stop does is that's your safety brake. Okay, that is the thing that if you have a horse that wants to rear, bolt, whatever, shy, you stop them from taking off and hurt. You can ensure that's when you So, if I walk around here, okay, I'm good at riding, very good at technology, so I think we have a loose wire. Okay, so what we want to do is, now guys, you have to yell at me because I can't hear if it's not working. Can't make it work. Now it's going to work. Listen to that. Okay. Yeah, it's going to drop out. Squeak. Okay. So, you know, a one-round stop is really important. Okay. There's another thing that's really important. And if you don't feel confident doing a one-round stop, if you feel like that you are, you know, lacking the coordination to put a one-round stop together, something I like every horse that I am involved with to be able to do is I like them to be able to bend to a stop. So when they bend to a stop, it's literally just picking up on one rein and bending them down to a stop, okay? That's simple. Now what that does is it lets you know, both of those exercises, they keep you safe, but it also lets you know that the horse knows how to if the horse gives to pressure, you can get into a lot of trouble very easily. So by doing those two exercises and knowing that they work, you can guarantee that if you get into a bit of trouble and you have to put pressure on a horse, they will give in to it. Absolute worst thing that can happen is when something goes wrong and you face and the horse just runs through the pressure. Yeah. If anyone knows anyone who's any good with electronics, come and find me because we're going to try and fix this. So, you know, if I grab this old horse's face, see how he doesn't run through the pressure? See how he'll just give to the pressure? Now, there's an exception to this, okay? If you're a complete beginner and you've never ridden a horse, sometimes what beginners are inclined to do is they're inclined to balance on the horse's mouth. So say when they rise, trot. As they rise, what they do is they pull on the reins to bring themselves up. So a horse like this, if you were to do that with him, he'd actually get really stressed, yeah. Like he doesn't understand that at all. So, you know, just be, again, like I said at the start, be kind of aware of what you're trying to achieve and what you want to do. Like there's no good you going, like I said at the start, like if you're going to ride a horse like this, if you're a complete beginner. You know, so I want my horses to be softer. But if you've never ridden a horse, you may find it important that you can actually pull on their waist. So, you know, and that's where you've got to ask what the horse has done, what it's done before, you know, what the old one has done with it, and find out as much as you can about it. Because there's no that, you know the old saying, I've never looked a gift horse in the mouth. But let's be honest, you know, you get what you pay for. And word of mouth is always your best way of finding a horse. Like, go and talk to people like me. I have people ring me all the time about horses. Sometimes I know them, sometimes I don't. You know, but this is the thing, like, if you don't know anybody in the horse industry, you don't know anyone who come with you, you know, you go and find someone. In the States, there's a huge business around people being paid to look at horses for other people. And that's what you may have to do. You may have to get someone else to go and look at that horse. Get someone to actually, you know, spend a bit of time with you and the horse. And you know, go and spend time with a rider, instructor and stuff, and let them get to know you. That's the other thing. Like, you need someone who knows your personality. If you're a nervous rider, you don't need a nervous horse. Okay? If you're a you know, a really bold rider, you can. That's not a nervous horse. Is such a good thing. But get somebody around you who can objectively assess where you're at. Okay, where that horse is. And you know, like groundwork. Like, you know, I've done the groundwork demos before. You know, you start, get to know that horse on the ground. Go and have a look at it. I don't give trials with horses that we sell. We don't sell many, but I flatly refuse to give trials. Okay, and the reason is I got stung years ago. I gave a trial to somebody, and then I had to threaten to go and get the horse to get the money. Okay, so we're not interested in trials. And you know what? At the end of the day, you know, I don't know what's going to happen to this horse when he's out of the sight, so I'm not interested in trials. But what I say to people is, you can come to my house as often as you want to. So if you're buying a horse in fast, I don't care, come 3 weekends in a row. You know, if you can find me at home. Come and ride and come as many times as you need to. And you know what? If you have a seller, if you're looking at a horse and someone's selling it and they're not interested in doing that, you probably don't want to buy that horse. Okay? There is too many horses on the market, good horses on the market, where, you know, with good sellers who will help you out that horse. Now don't drive them nuts, don't go and camp on their doorstep, you know, but be prepared to go a few times. Be prepared to go and check the room and make sure, you know, that you're 100% sure of what they're doing and what the horse is doing. And you know, like, you've got to work out what you want. So say, for example, this old horse, you know, he's fairly conformationally correct. There's not a big leg wrong with him. And that's why he's been successful at what he does. But if you were going... He's barrel racing. Yeah. But you know, like if you were going to buy a beginner's horse, and we have an old mare at home called Paprika, and if any of you buy Australian Performance Horse magazine, I wrote an article about this, and there's a photo of her. And Freak is conformationally, if you were going to buy a horse on conformation, you would never buy Paprika. Okay? She has got one hip's higher than the other, like her cannon bones are offset, like she's like a, I don't know what she looks like, but she's not put together that well. Yet that horse has taught, in her career, she's retired now, but that horse has taught so many people to ride. And I can put any of you, no matter what your ability is, you can come to my house, I can put you on Creek, and I know she'll look after you. And you know, if you're a beginner, you know, forgive those conservation forms. And age. Like, I can't tell you over the years how many people said to me, I don't want a horse over 12 years old. Like, this bloke's 12. You know, he's got, if I look after him, he's got another 8 years in him with me at the highest level. You know, but, like, you've got to look after him. But, you know, that's the thing. Age is your friend. Like, the older the horse, often, the older the horse, the more experienced they are. You know, the younger the horse, the greener. And anyone who saw the demo this morning with that mare, she's 6 years old. Like, you know, there's no way I'm going to ride her around here. Because, you know, he's moving, but she's just going to be rattled. Whereas he's been around. You know, that's what you want. And, you know, those old competition horses who've been around and done, they can be good sometimes. You know, like, people like me sometimes will have horses that don't make it with me, that will go on and do amazing things for other people just having fun, because they're good, solid horses. And it's a bit like, you know, racehorse. My dad was a racehorse man. I grew up around racehorses. And what I love about racehorses is, as a rule, they tie up. You can shoe them, you can drench them, like, you can float them. Exactly. That stuff, they've been doing that
that stuff since the day they were born. Those studs and stuff in the Hunt Valley, those vets are there every day, and they're fixing those foals legs. They're doing something. Those foals are bought till day one. So like your race, your old race horse and stuff. I'm not recommending old race horses for everybody, okay? But that I love that they've got that foundation. Like you can send me a blood horse off the track, and I know I'm not going to have to waste time teaching any of that stuff. And that's, I think that's really important, and we overlook that sometimes. And I think old competition horses, like this old bloke. I have not sat on this horse since the middle of September. He's been led, like I've trotted him out and stuff. He's been led. But literally, Courtney saddled him up down there in the stalls for the first time in a month. And that's what it's like. Like he's 12 years old. And so that's the sort of thing you want to be aware of. Have a look at.
Can I ask you a question?
Please.
I've got a rescue thoroughbred that is really quiet and an old barrel racer. And I could last year left me for 6 months and just saddle up, walk off, and they're good to go. But they're really matey. How do you get around the two horses who hate to be 2 feet apart?
So, a big thing of that is go back to all that groundwork stuff and get them. Did you see the demo I did this morning with that mare? That's all right. No. Because when she came in this morning, she was like, oh my God. Like, she was like, thought the world was going to eat her. And I did some focus work with her. What you want to do is go back to your groundwork and get those horses, get them both really focused on you. Get them to where they think you are the centre of their universe. And then what that does is, what happens when horses are matey, it's because they're not focused on you, they're more worried about their buddies. So that mare actually this morning was a really good example, because when she got in here, like she was facing the opposite way to this whole horse, and she knows that the other two are back there. She was like looking like she was going to lead. So I did some focus work with her, which I've done with before, in the demo, and that mare came back to me and just relaxed and forgot about me. So go back to that groundwork stuff, and those two horses being like that, that's just, two horses together. Like we've had horses, like we can put two horses in trucks, like I can, drive to Gumby, go and meet my mate, we can go down to Victoria to compete, and this horse will have made it up with her horse in the truck on the way home. That's all it takes. But if you've got that really solid foundation under them, then when they get like that, you can bring them back. Yeah. So that I would say to people, if you're going to go out and buy a horse or get a new horse or whatever, I just spend those first couple of weeks with them doing the groundwork to get that relationship with them. It's a bit like all of you. Like when you meet people, you meet some people and straight away you like them and you really like them and get on well with them. And then you meet some people, and actually someone I know like this, and when I first met this person, I was like, and then I got to know them, and now I really like them. Like they're great. Like we just click. Well, that's like you guys and your horses. Don't think it's going to happen today. And that's we in our game, like with going competition horses, we say it will take 12 months to make a relationship with a horse. Like that's what we want. Because this old horse, he knows exactly where I put my legs, where I put my hands, my weight, all of that. Whereas if I, put cord on him and she's never ridden him before, well, she's just, even though she we all ride different. We have to compete with people. We're having enough trouble as goodness. We all ride a little different. So it takes time to make that relationship. So I'm massive on, and actually really funny. I had a horse last weekend at a clinic, and the lady hadn't had the horse that long, and she had it 12 months actually. And one of the things that they noticed and said to her was the horse doesn't like groundwork. Well, the horse didn't like groundwork all right, because when I got hold of it on the halter, it was on its hind legs going backwards across the lane. But within 5 minutes, that horse was awesome. And you know what it was? It wasn't that the horse didn't like groundwork, it was that the owners didn't like groundwork. And so then they'd scared this new owner off. The horse was awesome. awesome. When we got it going, it'd be great groundwork. And actually one of the problems that lady's been having is she's been having trouble getting it on the float. Well, we're at the lunchtime on the first day, we went loading on the float.